Hi everyone, it's the Agnihotra lady here on Saturday for the 7 p.m. hour of the Cosmic Clinic. Thanks again for everyone that's joining. And if you're not familiar with my show, I have it every Saturday at 7 p.m. and it runs for about an hour, sometimes a little bit less depending on what I have going on. But I talk about the ancient Ayurvedic wisdom of Agnihotra, and I talk about other lessons about living every day with peace, love, and happiness, no matter what is happening in the world, which of course we know that it's a lot of chaos and confusion going on, but you don't have to live that way. So I'm here every Saturday on Zoom and on Facebook Live. So before I forget, because I always forget, I'm going to go ahead and share the Zoom information, and that way some people can go ahead and come on live, because I do want people to ask questions. This is a Q&A where you can ask me any questions. And before I get started, let me go ahead and get started with the Viruti mantra, which is how we set the tone. It's a blessing over this talk. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. Bhu swaha Agnihotra namama swaha Vayave namama swaha Surya yara namama bhurva swaha Prajapatiye namama. And so now let me go ahead and share the Zoom link for anyone that wants to join. Let me go ahead and copy it now and get people to get on there. So welcome everyone. If you're just joining, just hold on a second while we get this going, okay? I'm just going to share the Zoom link. And please feel free, if you don't want to join on Zoom, if you do join on Zoom, you can, and I just posted it, you can, you don't have to show your face, you can just do audio, but I just posted the Zoom information, and I'm going to go ahead and share it on my page, the Shanti Atlanta page, and I know some of you all may be viewing from there. But let me go ahead and share now on a couple of pages and on Shantivilla's pages, and we can get this started. Oops. Welcome everybody. I'm just letting a few people come on. I posted the Zoom link below if you want to join. So welcome. We have a good topic this week. We're going to be talking about watching the words that you speak, the words that you speak, the power of the words that you speak. So it sounds like a simple thing, but it's not. It's not. It's simple, but it's sometimes hard for us to do, isn't that right? So I'm going to be talking about that. We got a couple more minutes here before we get started. One more minute, I should say. Okay, and so welcome. I'm so happy that you are here with me today, this evening, I should say. And I'm here every Saturday at 7 p.m. And I'm just happy that you've chosen to spend the time to hear some lessons in Ayurveda and things that can help you in your life. Okay, I'm sharing one more page, and then we're going to go ahead and get started, because we may have some new people that are not familiar. Okay. Okay, so welcome everyone. I am broadcasting live from Shanti, Atlanta. I am the Atlanta campus of Shantivilla Institute, which is run by my teacher, Sri Charles. That's located in Tuskegee, Alabama. And so for those of you that are in the Atlanta area, I'm located in Conyers. So you're welcome to come by privately. I am seeing people socially distanced, of course, if you like to come and learn about the Ayurveda and the Agnihotra teaching. So as for those of you who do not know, I teach Agnihotra, which is, as you can see, is done in a copper pyramid, even though this is not Agnihotra, but Agnihotra is something we do at sunrise and sunset, and it brings about a purification and a cleansing of the planet, and in turn, you cleanse and purify yourself. So this is a tool that you can use to be peaceful and calm and to help deepen whatever practice you have that you do in the morning and evening time, whether it's meditation, prayer, or whatever. It's not about religion. You can add this onto whatever you're doing. So in the Ayurvedic fashion, when you do Agnihotra in the morning time, there's some ethers, electricities, and energies that happen in the morning time. It's this beautiful music that brings about this nurturing change in the morning time. So when you do Agnihotra, you know, there's sun sends the energy down to the pyramid, and there's an interaction, and that's the purification. And it actually cleanses the air, cleanses the water, and it's great for the soil. So, and then that effect, it goes 8 miles up in a 2-mile radius. And so it's been scientifically proven to do all these things with the air and the water and the soil. And we use a copper pyramid. And anyway, it's a beautiful practice, an Ayurvedic practice that you can do in the morning and in the evening. And we do it again at sunset, because that's when those ethers, electricities, and energies are receding. And we do Agnihotra once again to put nutrients back into the atmosphere. And I've said many, many times, me and Sri Charles, when we've done talks, there's so much taking and taking that we do. We have to give back to the Mother Earth. We just can't be here not taking care of the planet. That's what we're here for. We're stewards of the planet. We may forget that in our fast-paced lives as we go about doing our busy things, raising our children, going to work, doing all these things, socializing. But foremost, above anything else, we are to connect with the Creator, and we're to take care of the planet in which we live on. So today's topic, you know, and I usually cover a couple of topics, and I'll get back to talking about Agnihotra, but each week we've done the Cosmic Clinic, and I've had Sri Charles on a couple of times. We're talking about different things to help heal your body and to have your consciousness be on a higher level. So I do like to speak on these topics because when you do them in conjunction with Agnihotra, you're amplifying those effects of getting your consciousness on the highest level possible, which is extremely important now with everything that we have going on in the world. There's so many distractions, and you do not want to be distracted with all these things that are happening. All these distractions get you away from who you really are, you know, as a divine being, as a son, daughter of Mother, Father, God, okay? We're not to forget that we're divine beings that are experiencing this human experience as we walk upon the earth amongst our fellow human beings. And we have to remember to be always kind to those around us, even to those that may not be acting the best. And maybe sometimes we don't act the best. So we have to have people that are cognizant of that too, that we have to be forgiving and patient with each other. So this topic we're talking, and we're always talking about your thoughts, your words, and actions. And some early episodes, I was talking about that because your thoughts become words, your words become actions. So you want to always make sure that you're thinking good thoughts, and you keep those good thoughts in your head as much as possible, because they lead to whatever you're saying and lead to whatever actions you have. And let me make sure you all can see the fire. Should I switch this up a little bit? Let's see. Let me switch it back. I'm trying to make sure you're back and see the fire there. I got two books stacked up right there. Okay, so it's so let me talk about the power of watching your words, and we all have to deal with this. There's a lot of trouble that you get into when you don't watch your mouth and you just say any and everything, and really you cannot do that. Not only because it affects you physically, when you're saying mean things, when you're gossiping, when you are not saying positive things, when you're doing things to tear down someone, these things affect you physically. They affect your nervous system and your endocrine system. And, that leads to sickness, to all sorts of problems, and leads to stress, of course. And sometimes we can't hold our mouths, and a lot of things won't happen if you can just be quiet, if you can just shut up. And I know that's hard. Some of us are very feisty and we want to be able to get someone told, but what is the real purpose of that? What is the purpose of that? When you are saying these mean things to people, you hold it inside your body as well. And then you're affecting that person, how they're going out throughout their day. Maybe they become angry, and it just reverberates. So you have to be really careful about that. Since we are high vibrational creatures, we want to always do things that keep us in that high vibration. We don't want to do things that have us in a low frequency, because then we're not vibrating with the planet. And the planet, as I've said before, it depends on our vibrations of love. Love is the highest vibration that you can exist in. I mean, your body is in optimal health and efficiency when you are loving unconditionally, loving so authentically that it exudes from every pore of your skin. It makes you shine like a star in the sky. And so you may think when you're at work, talking about one of your coworkers to one of your other coworkers, okay, well, this is just water cooler talk. No, it's not. That's not good. You really can't gossip with your girlfriends about other people. That's not good. You can't say mean things. You can't say things about yourself that bring you up high. You're so important. You're the most important thing. And you're talking about all these things that you've done. We can't brag and do these things and brag on our material possessions. Oh, you have a master's degree or a PhD, and just talk about your raise and all these things and bragging. Because there's some people that take that in, that, okay, wow, this person is really bragging on themselves and trying to make me feel small. If you're talking about yourself all the time, then you're not able to hear and see what other people are going through. So listening, reflective listening, is really good, because then you're able to connect with people. You'll be able to connect with people deeply. And what's more important than that? That's actually the most important thing. If you're listening to people, really listening and understanding who they are, what is really more important than that, than you connecting with your fellow human being? And so when you're talking and bragging about yourself, that is not a good vibration. And then you also don't want to find fault with everyone. Finding fault in everyone, that brings about a negative vibration as well. And this is not good. And so, and the reason why you don't want to do these things is because there is something that happens to the pranic energy, the life force energy with it that runs within you and that's around all around you when you're saying these things. Okay, please know that affects the pranic energy that runs within you. You don't want to do that. It affects the connection between your mind and your intellect. Yes, it does. Because remember that saying good things, your actions, all of this brings about a connection, a balance between the mind and the intellect. And so when you hold your tongue, don't say that mean thing to that woman that did something mean to you last week. When you hold that tongue and you smile and you say hi to her, when she speaks to you, there's something that happens to your mind and intellect. And so you have to consider that, you know, what happens to the pranic energy. And we often forget that. We don't even think about that. Okay. You know, like what, you know, why should I not say that mean thing? Why shouldn't I curse out that my neighbor that's getting on my nerves? Why should it, why should I why should I not talk to my child that way? Because that affects you on the deepest level. And it also affects your karma. So often we forget about these things. And we have to remember that our words are love and light. And whenever we're not speaking in that way, it affects us. And this may be hard for a lot of people, but you got to do it moment by moment until you get used to doing it. Don't blame others for things when things don't work out your way. That's really important. Okay? Don't gossip. Don't say mean things. And reflective listening. And so these are things that are part of the cosmic clinic, things you can do to strengthen your body, strengthen your mind, and up your consciousness. So I say it once again, it's a simple thing, but then again, it's not. It's not. We say, okay, we can do these things, but for instance, like talking about yourself all the time, about how important you is, that's feeding ego. And then also too, you're becoming attached to those things. You're becoming attached when you say, yes, I got that brand new car, and you're talking about this, and you got a raise, and you were able to get this car, and you were able to buy this bigger house. You don't want to be attached to things because that affects your life force, your pranic energy as well too. And the more we can get away from words that bring about attachment to things, to job titles, okay, to a job itself. You know, a job title, having a PhD, having a master's degree. These are not requirements from the Creator. Mother, Father God did not require us as human beings to have a certain type of job, have a certain degree, job title, a certain type of house or car. All these things are transitory. And let us not forget that when we're walking around dealing with people, we're dealing with people. It's about people and not things. Because all of these things are labels and categories, which really don't amount to anything if you do not have a good relationship with the Mother, Father, God. Remember, and Sri Charles and I have talked about this before, that we are sons and daughters of the Creator. Okay, we're sons and daughters of the Creator. And so when we speak, we want to speak as that divine being that we are, divine beings. We want to speak and walk in that truth and love and light. Okay, so with words, and I've said before in some previous episodes, they lead to actions. And of course, they first start as thoughts. Okay. And so there's a saying when we teach deep breathing, when we teach about meditation, that wherever the mind is, that's where the energy will go. Let me repeat it again. Wherever the mind is, the energy will go. So whatever you are thinking, that is where the energy will go. So literally, you're creating just through where your mind is going, what it's thinking about. So with that, then that leads to the words, and that leads to actions. And so these are simple things. And you know, one of the ways that you can work on this is like, if you're used to, let's just say you're used to gossiping, and everybody says, oh, they gossip when they go to work, or they, you know, they may get on the phone, talk about that quote unquote family member that is not acting the way that you think they should act. But just get in the habit of not talking to people. When people start gossiping, then you just cut the conversation off, and you say, okay, well, I need to go, I have something to do, because then you don't want to feed into that. So these are simple things that you can do. And just take it step by step. And I know that, especially for a lot of women, we like to do the girl talk. And that girl talk in a lot of ways can be destructive, especially if you're always criticizing others, finding fault with others, and making fun of others and all of that. That's not the way to be. So if you're in the habit of, you know, during the cosmic clinic times, which we talked about before, the time in which you can just sit still, you can do 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., sunrise, 10 a.m., 12 noon, 3 p.m., sunset. Okay. These are the times, the cosmic clinic times, where you can tune up your thoughts. Just like you tune up your car, you tune up your thoughts. Okay. And then your mind gets used to being still and calm. And this is how you train your thoughts. Okay. And if you sit, even if it's just for 10 minutes at any of these times, there is something that happens within you. And so when we talk about saying these words, you also block, when you say mean words, when you're gossiping, when you're finding fault with other people, you're actually blocking a deeper understanding of yourself and receiving the knowledge that the cosmos and that Mother, Father, God has for you. You can't receive any of those things if you're constantly talking and gossiping. Okay. So there's knowledge that comes about, and you will hear yogis talk about this, and many teachers that talk about sitting still and doing the breathing. And the reason why is when you sit still, there's a lot of information that you can receive. Okay. But you have to sit still. And as Sri Charles says, sit, boo boo, sit. He always says that. You have to sit still. It can't be done when you're yapping. And let me just point out too, in a lot of these things that we're seeing being passed along on social media, that we're seeing on the news, a lot of that can be done away with if a person simply shuts up. A lot of that is because we're talking, we're arguing, we're talking loud, and we're not listening. There's a lot that can be said by how you can change a situation with just being quiet and being still. And so the Cosmic Clinic really is about not only boosting your immune system, resting your body, having a time to have your consciousness raised up. But it's about you connecting with the highest source and receiving knowledge that you're supposed to receive and becoming the best that you can be. And that's all we really want as humans, for us to live peacefully, to have great relationships with family members, have a great relationship with our children, our spouses, have occupation that is meaningful and productive to your life and doesn't drain you. That's another thing too. I don't think God wants us to waste away at jobs that are meaningless and that will bring us joy just because we need money. And we see that now. People are having to slow down because of, the COVID-19. Some people have lost their jobs and not been able to make money. This is the time for you to be still, connect deeply with yourself, and learn more about your family members and sit still, as opposed to saying what you don't have. Focus on what you do have. Okay? So I'm going to let me take a break here, and then we're going to talk about Agnihotra. I'm going to see if anybody's on here. Anyone has any questions. You're tuned in to the Agnihotra Lady. And I'm here every Saturday. I'm live here at Shanti Atlanta in Conyers. And we're talking about watching your words and dealing with problems like just being quiet. Okay? Yeah, just being quiet. And so it's a very simple thing, and Sri Charles and I were discussing this the last several days, but it's hard for so many people to do. And so some other things, before I start talking about Agnihotra and specific things, in conversations, you want to always bring about something of love, something of spiritual importance to another human being when you're talking to them, when you're connecting with them. And you want to always do that by being humble and presenting yourself, the real you, without all that stuff. Who are you without the car, the house, your job title, whatever you are? You're just a human being, just like everyone else. And when you see that everybody, no matter what problems they present with, everybody wants to be loved. So whether it's the person that is the drug user, the drug dealer, okay, the mom that may have a drinking problem, the father that may have a problem keeping his hands off his wife and his children, the person that appears to talk pompously and arrogantly, the person that you think has it together, but really they're at home and they're crying and they're suffering. Okay, everybody wants to be loved. And so it's very important that we don't feed into these material things. Okay, and I talked to someone earlier about they're fearful, and I told them about doing some deep breathing exercises, and as well as doing Agnihotra, because that fear, a lot of these things that we do when we attach to material things is because we're scared, and fear causes a lot of trouble. And the thing, like I said, the thing is, who are you without your car, your house, and this title, any of these things? You're just a child of the universe, okay? And you don't want to forget who you are. So now we're going to talk about Agnihotra. So with Agnihotra, I've said on the show and previous episodes is that there are people that use Agnihotra daily to help with PTSD and depression and other mood disorders, and it helps. There are people that have children that are ADHD or autistic, and they use Agnihotra, and it helps. It helps not only the child or the person, but the entire family. It's very healing and soothing. And so when we talk about thoughts, words, and actions, which is what I've been talking about and what I continue talking about, Agnihotra is a tool in which you can have that balance between your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Because all three of these things are to be in concert. You're not supposed to think one thing, say something differently, or act differently. Everything is supposed to be, in harmony. And I've said before, if you're working a job and they're doing something that that is not good for the environment, whether they're polluting or they're doing something to a neighborhood where it's displacing people that live there, then you can't possibly continue to work there, because it's not in sync with what you think and what you say, especially when you go and say things to other people like, I like to help people, or I want to do that. Well, if you're working a job that's not in sync with that, then there's not harmony between your thoughts, words, and actions. So that's really important. And having that harmony will create less stress. You'll be in a blissful state when all three of those things are in harmony. I know, it may be hard to do, but you have to have that if you want to have any sort of peace of mind. And that actually helps with your immune system too. Living simply, and doing the things that are in harmony with what you know in your heart is the way that you want to live, and the way that others want to live as well too. So when we look at the planet, and I'm getting into Agnihotra now, all these things, we have to set rules, and we have to have the EPA to set rules to keep the planet healthy. This is what modern society tells us, when in fact, you as a human being, we don't have to have rules. We know intrinsically what is good for the planet. We know what to do, how to do it. We don't have to have a rule or a court to tell us what to do. Okay? We can do it, the right thing, as a human being, without having a rule. You set that goal for yourself. And if everyone did this, then we wouldn't have these problems with having clean air, clean water, and healthy food for the planet. And just today, I had to go to the home improvement store. And I'm just appalled that they still are selling the Roundup in the home improvement store, which that's ridiculous. Why is that being sold? But still, that means people are still buying it. So even though they have a court ruling on people that have said that Roundup caused your cancer, people are still selling it, but it's used the individual that choose whether to buy that and to poison the planet. So with Agnihotra, there's a purification that happens. And so when you do this consistently, you will see a difference in your body, okay, and also in the surroundings. You'll see that nature, the birds, since you're nurturing it, the animals that live in nature, you'll notice more birds, different types of birds, and you'll notice that there's a certain feel, a vibe, a vibration to your home and the surrounding area. Like I said before, it goes 8 miles up, the process of Agnihotra, and it goes, it's a 2-mile radius. So the ingredients that we use for Agnihotra are dried cow dung. This is it right here. We use brown rice. I use long grain brown rice, or short grain brown rice is brown rice. And then we use ghee, which is unsalted butter that we melt down, and this is ghee. Okay, and that's what we use for Agnihotra. So let me actually show you the kit. So we have certain items to sell at shantivillainstitute.com, and so each kit comes with a booklet, so you're ready to teach. Okay, immediately. It comes with copper tongs, cup, tray, a stand, copper spoon, everything's copper. And then here is the pyramid. I just wanted to show you. And so this is the pyramid. Can you see that? You can see it has 3 layers to it. That's inside of the pyramid. And then we also have a couple of these little glass containers that come with. This is the kit. So like I said, everything I'm showing you now, you can order on shantivillainstitute.com, and that'll help us keep. We have 13-acre farm in Tuskegee, and the Shanti Atlanta here is less than it's less than an acre. But this will help keep us going, because we do a lot of outreach in low-income areas where people can't have access to a computer or even, get to see us on Facebook. So this keeps us going. We also have, let me see if I have it. We sell, our best-selling is a mudra book. Okay, let's see if I can find it. I have so many things up here. Okay. So this is our best-selling mudra book, and I did a mudra demonstration 2 or 3 episodes ago. The Secret Science of Mudras, once again, is available on shantivillainstitute.com. And then we also have, I think, 3 or 4 of the books up there too, authored by Sri Charles. And if you garden or farm, we also have, and anyone that's seen me planting here in the garden here, and what we use in Shantivilla is Shanti's Ayurvedic Golden Nectar Liquid Gold. This is our Ayurvedic plant food. So you can see that. And it's concentrated. You just add water, and we do have this in gallon drums for those that are farmers. But this is beyond organic. It's Ayurvedic, made at Shantivilla Institute in Tuskegee. And so we also offer this as well for anyone that's into gardening or farming. It increases plant yield, increases the nutrients in the soil. It cuts your harvest time. It's very good. And like I said, during Agnihotra, it restores the soil. And it was actually, there was incident in a part of the Amazon forest where they couldn't even grow food there. People had to move, and they did Agnihotra and other homifiers there for about 3 months, and they were able to restore the soil using Agnihotra. So obviously we have ash in the Agnihotra ash is in the plant food. And let me actually show you ash, which is the resultant product. So know that when you're doing, this is resultant product from doing the fire. This is actually your Ayurvedic medicine. This is the ash from when you burn the rice, ghee, and the cow dung. So you can actually make this into capsules and take them. You could put it in water, and it purifies water. Put it in a glass jug, and it sits for 3 days. It purifies water. It's good for your skin, cuts. Some people that are suffering from heart problems and cancer and things, they take this as an alternative treatment. So it's very powerful. Like I said, if it's good for the planet, then it's good for your body. And I drink Agnihotra water every day. I use it for the garden over here. I take it internally. It's very healing. So let me see if anybody has any questions, because let me see. Agnihotra is at 7:55 sunset. Agnihotra is at seven. No, yeah, it said 7:55. Let me just double check the time, and I don't want to miss it. Yeah, it is at 7:55. So I'll be wrapping up here in a minute. Let me see if there are any questions. Okay, so okay, I see some people are commenting here. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about, man, microbes, flora, fauna, and this is a scientific principle. And when one of those things is tampered with, you're tampering with everything. And so Agnihotra is a way for you to reset the planet and put the balance back to where it needs to be, where it needs to be. So many things that we're doing with the planet that tamper with man, microbes, flora, fauna. Okay, and you can't tamper with what the Creator put here on the planet, because that affects all life, humans included. And so, you know, it's just not. You're not supposed to be tampering. We tamper. We're constantly creating. We're constantly improving, as opposed to sitting still and looking what's already here and living in sync with what's already here. You know, we're always trying to do something differently, when really the simplicity of living with what is already here, that is what we're meant to do as human beings, as divine beings. So I just wanted to point that out. When oh goodness, okay, hold on a second, I'm trying to get back to the other screen here. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that before I sign off here, and I don't think there are any more questions. And you know, I really enjoy doing this show every Saturday. I'll be here next Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you have any questions, even if you see the replay, you feel free to DM me. Or you can, my website is healthpluslifestyle.com. My email is Shanti Atlanta Center, and that's SHANTI, Shanti Atlanta Center at Gmail. My phone number is 404-487-8156. And for all the products that I've shown you, the website to order is shantivillainstitute.com. Once again, I'm broadcasting live here at Shanti Atlanta, located in Conyers. I'm the Atlanta campus of Shantivilla Institute, which is run by my teacher, Sri Charles. And as always, I want you to go throughout the day, each day during the week, full of love, happiness, and bliss. And I will see you next week on the Agnihotra Lady, the Cosmic Clinic.